Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media News. Just now, a little while ago, I was just listening to uh, the Bobby Kudo show, and and Boomer Amaral, Boomer Amaral, he was just on it, and I'll tell you though, they were talking about some good stuff, boy. I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? About all the corruption uh, that's been happening in the mayor's office, um, and city council, school committee. Um, and I'll tell you something, those of you guys, I mean, if all this, if all this stuff, the same stuff uh, that we are talking about all the time, let me tell you something, okay? Let me give you a little bit of advice. I'm outside right now. I'm walking on Pleasant Street, okay, and but I have a body cam on. So I'm walking on Pleasant Street right now, okay? And it seems pretty quiet out here at this point, you know. But, you know, when you start, when all the corruption, all the sexual harassment in the school department and stuff like that, you know, and none of this stuff, you know, uh, nothing has even been done about it. I mean, come on. I mean, people are going to face the facts. We're talking about the same stuff, okay? Again, okay? Um, we're talking about the same stuff over and over again. And, you know, when we talk about the same stuff over and over again, I mean, this tells you something, okay? Now, if we would have had the Boomer administration in there, let me tell you something, okay? We would have been talking about something different, okay? All right, we've been talking about something different. So all this stuff, okay, that's going on, we should be, we should, this stuff should be in the past, okay? This stuff, other new things should be going on. Look at the roads, okay? Look at the streets out here, okay? The streets are a mess out here, guaranteed you. I can almost, I can, I can, I can almost put a bet on it, okay? But look at it, okay? I mean, it's a sad thing. Um, you know, it's a sad thing that's going on. Look at all this stuff over here, okay, out here. I mean, look at it. You know, it's 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 totally a mess. Okay, you know, half of this stuff that's over here. Okay, look at look at it. It doesn't. We don't even. There's no stickers on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, look at Fall River. Okay, um, Fall River. We're going to be talking about the same stuff. Okay, we talk about recall elections. We talk about. I mean, even a recall election ain't going to do. Okay, so we talk about market rate housing. We talk about um, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and so I mean, doesn't really anybody know? Um, doesn't anybody know basically what is going on in Fall River? You know what I'm saying, voting for actually same people all the time. Okay, when you vote for the same people all the time, it's what is it telling you? Okay, and we told you once before. Okay, you're not going to get any different results. Okay, you're not. So basically, that's what you're not going to get. You're not going to get any different results. Okay, the stuff is always going to be the same. Everything's going to be the same. So yeah, so everything's going to be the same, and it's especially the streets. The streets are all going to be a mess out here. Okay, yeah, I mean, and holes in the streets and stuff, and we're going to go buy a little bit more uh, stuff here too. So so watch just watch all this stuff right here. Okay, this all this stuff right here coming up. Oh, this is all crazy right here. Yeah, this is all crazy stuff right here. Yeah, this is all crazy. No stickers on these things or nothing. Over here, look at that. It's crazy right there. No stickers on this stuff. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Okay, you know, like I said, if Boomer Amaral would have got in there for mayor, we this talk would have been this talk would have been different. Okay, it would have been. Um, but it's not. It's the same old stuff again. Okay, and and this is why this is why people are moving out of Fall River. Okay, because of the same old things every day. Okay, stupid shit every single day in the city of Fall River. So what does that tell you? So it does. It tells you a lot of what is going on in Fall River. Okay, it tells you a lot. So uh, we all have to. Uh, we all have to. Uh, you know, you got to do something about it, because if you don't do anything about it, guess what's going to happen? Okay, it's going to be the same old stuff every single day. And I talk about this stuff on Saturday. Okay, I do. Well, but Boomer Amro, Bobby Kudo on the Kudo show, they have some good points. Okay, I did listen to it, and let me tell you, so Bobby and Boomer Amro, they have some good points. Um, Boomer Amro talked about a little bit about the sexual assault that happened at Durfee High School. Okay, he talked a little bit, about the mayor's office. He talked a little about here, just a little bit about everything. But I'll tell you, you know, he makes he makes a valid point. Okay, he makes good points on everything. And something, and it's the same old stuff every single day, every 2 years, same old stuff. It's the same old stuff every 2 years, and and it's sad. Okay, so we can talk about this. Um, we could talk about this stuff until the cows come home. Okay, but what needs to be changed? Okay, the people have to change. Okay, the people have to change. Okay, if the people don't change, guess what? Nothing's going to change. Okay, and we talked about this. Okay, we talked about this for several years. Okay, and a very long time, since 2020, 2025, and now 2026. We are still talking about what's going on in politics. Okay, We are still talking about it. Okay. So what is going to change? Okay. Is the stuff going to be still going to go on in 2027? People are going to talk about market rate housing. People are going to talk about Trump. People are going to talk about Venezuela. People are going to talk about this. People are going to talk about that. Okay. People are going to criticize this and criticize that. Is there anybody making any changes? No, nobody's making no changes at all. Okay. So let me tell you something. All right. It starts with the people. Okay. The people have to make the change. Okay. That's where it starts from. Okay. Then it works its way over the government. Okay. So what's the sense of even talking about it when you're not making any changes at all? You know what I'm saying? So it starts with the people. Okay. That's where it starts. Okay. So it starts with the people, and the people have to make that change. So if you don't make that change, guess what? It's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Sometimes it takes the willpower of the people to make the change. Okay? We talk about Venezuela. We talk about Trump. We talk about Schumer. We talk about Massey. We talk about Trump with his, what do you call it? Uh, APAC money. Okay? Nobody knows what's going on with that APAC money. Nobody knows why he took it. He took it. People make assumptions every single day. Okay? And this is why, and this is why I went unenrolled. Okay? Because of the stupidity, nonsense, bull that's going on. Okay? That's why I went unenrolled. So now I can vote for whoever I want. But but it takes the willpower of the people. Okay? The people have to make that change. Okay? And if you can't make the change, you got to make that change. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, well, this is going on, this is going on. Oh, it's all well and good. Yeah, you could talk about it, freedom of speech. You could talk doctrination. You could talk LGBTQ and all this other stuff. But what is going to change? You could talk about people wearing dresses. You could talk. You could talk about all that. Okay, it's freedom of speech. You know, it's all well and good. But how is it going to change? What are we doing to make change? What are we doing? Okay. Are we still going to talk about this stuff in 2027? Are we still going to talk about it in 2028 or 2030 or when the cows come home? So, what are we doing? Okay. Are we going to make the change, or we're just going to sit and cry like babies? Okay. Or we're going to sit and cry like babies. You know. So, I mean, if we're going to cry like babies, then we might as well just put our heads between our legs, if that's the case. Okay? You know, you know, do something about it. Make the change. Stop being babies. Stop crying about this and this and that. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, look it. Uh, I don't know what's going on. Of course not. You don't know what's going on. Some of the people that do live streams, okay, some of the people that do live stream, they assume that these things are going on. Okay, they assume that's a war in Venezuela when it's not. Okay, you know, do your soul research before you run your mouth. Okay, you know, I just love it when people say, "Oh, well, Venezuela, 27 years they've been on a dictatorship, a ship. Okay, they've been dictated. Okay, tell them where to go here, tell them where to go there. Okay, let's put it this way: the Palestinians are sticking up for Venezuela. The Palestinians are sticking up for Venezuela. Okay, the Palestinians. Okay, they are sticking up for Venezuela. Okay, no, all right. That's how much everybody knows. Okay, and you know what gets me? Okay, oh well, we shouldn't stick up for we shouldn't protect the far a sovereign country. Well, let me tell you something. Okay, if you were living in Venezuela, okay, and you were dictated and told what to do and how to do things, you'd be fighting. You'd be fighting you'd be fighting to save your ass too. Okay, all right, to be free. Okay, you guys all be fighting to save your butts. Okay, you know, and you know, and they're happy, and it's gonna, and I believe that Venezuela is going to be free. Okay, okay, you know, people throw out their theories all the time, and I'm getting totally tired of it. Okay, I'm getting totally tired of it. Okay, you know, you got people for Trump, then you don't have people for Trump, then you got people for Trump, then they throw Trump under the bus. Okay, it's either you're for him or you're not for him. Okay, I mean, simple as that. I mean, it's either you're for him or you're not for him. You know, do your research. Do your research. God, all I hear, I mean, you know, well, Trump took APAC money. Trump did this. Trump did that. Do you know behind the whole? I don't even know behind the whole entire thing why Trump took APAC money. I don't know. I don't know it. I don't know. Nobody knows who took. Nobody knows who took that money. Okay, nobody knows. People assume that oh he took it. Oh he's corrupt. Oh he promised to do this and promised to do that. Is anybody checking facts? No. Assume all the time. Assume. Okay. That's why I don't talk about it no more. Okay. Because all I get is people assume about uh, about this, about that, and everything, and that's why I changed my political party, my political views. Okay. You know, you got to check your facts first before you open your mouth. It's unbelievable, man. It is. It's a sad thing, but you know what? I'm on a roll. So at that point, I can vote for whoever I want in the next presidential election, basically. So you want to call that a war in Venezuela? You're wrong. It's not a war in Venezuela. You know what it is? It's all about power. That's what it is. If you paid attention, it's all about power. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I have an opinion on that. It's all about power. That's what it is. It's about who's going to get power. When the Venezuelan people voted out the president of Venezuela, they wanted him out. And they did vote him out. But he refused to leave. But yeah, again, nobody looks at that. Nobody looks at nobody looks at the big picture. They always look at the small picture of everything. And this is why I refuse to talk about federal stuff. Because you know something? Because everyone, you know, it's like, oh, please. No, it's not all please. Look at your facts. Look at all the facts before you open your mouth and you start running your mouth. But I want to get back to my city now. Okay, you know, people complain about Coogan. Okay, they complain about Coogan. Okay, so why didn't you vote? Why didn't you vote for Boomer? Okay, why didn't you vote for Boomer and got Coogan out of office? So here we go again with the same bull crap. Okay, with the same bloody shit every day. Okay, you know, if you want to change, make it or stop your complaining. You know, if you want to do a recall, do a recall. If you're going to do a recall, do a damn recall. See if that works. Man, you know, school department, wow. Nobody went to jail for that sexual assault. What happened there? Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. Well, we have a Nazi that's in the school department. So we have a Nazi. Okay. We have a Nazi now. Okay. And then whoever votes for Trump were Nazis. That's what this girl is claiming. Hmm. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, so if we agree with Trump on what Trump is doing, we're Nazis. I tell you, man, that girl, that whoever that girl is that's working for the school department, I think she's got a few screw looses in her head too, herself. On top of that, Cliff Ponty, okay, Cliff Ponty, okay, Cliff Ponty, Sean Kadib, the little short, fat, stubby city councilor there with the glasses there, Raposo, all up Coogan's, butt. Believe it or not, yeah. Moy Healy, same thing with the, we're still supporting the immigration, the illegal immigrants, still supporting them. Okay, electric is going to go high sky, right? Electric is going to go high sky. Rents are going to go up again. Property taxes and everything. Huh. So people wanted Coogan. They love Coogan now. Know why? Because property taxes are going up. Yeah, the Bank Street Army. Yeah, sure. Yep, the Bank Street Army. Yeah, the Bank Street Army too. Yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah. What about the Bank Street Army? The Bank Street Army's falling apart. The fire station is falling apart. Still has asbestos. The walls are still peeling. So this is all the same stuff. Okay, this is all the same stuff that we talked about in 2025, and we are still talking about it still today. Okay, now we're still talking about it. No, I would never in my life ever kneel to somebody like that. If I'm going to kneel, I'm going to kneel before God before I kneel in front of Him. I'm going to kneel before God. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Kneel before God. Okay, okay. Mayor Paul Coogan is not my savior. God is my savior, and I will kneel before Him, before God. I will never kneel before Mayor Paul Coogan. Okay, that's why nothing gets done here in the city of Fall River. Okay, and you know who else was seen in Fall River? Jason Correa was seen in Fall River. I'm wondering if he's thinking about running against Mayor Paul Coogan. That's what I'm thinking. You know, oh, that's because I needed to come and get some fresh air. It's too hot in my house. That's why I'm outside. Yeah, it's 9/11. Don't worry about it. Just sitting here. Yeah, I'm just sitting here right now. You hate Jazel? Well, let me tell you something. Jazel will be back. Believe me, trust me. You know something? And I hope he does run for mayor again. I hope he does. He was seen at Market Basket in Fall River. Okay? I hope he does run for mayor again. Okay? You want to know why? I hope he does. That's the only way, that's probably the only way we're going to get Coogan out of office for that fact. So, so that's probably maybe the only way we're going to get Coogan out of office at that fact. But I'll tell you one thing though, you know, it's crazy. It is. It's nuts. No, I didn't. I didn't vote over. I didn't vote for Coogan over Jay's. Oh no, I didn't. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You know, if you would have voted for Boomer, okay, Boomer would have been a great mayor, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation about market rate housing. Okay, we wouldn't be having this conversation about market rate housing and other things. Okay, it would have been a total different story. Okay, the conversation would have been a whole total different story. Okay, you know, but you people just don't understand. Okay, when you vote for the same people all the time, you are voting. You what do you expect? And we've been over this 100,000 times. You expecting the same results? Are you expecting the same results? No. Okay. No, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get a different results. You're going to get the same old crap. And you know something? Good for you guys, man. You guys voted for Coogan back in, so deal with it. Deal with the high rents. Deal with the water. Deal with the property taxes that he's going to raise. Deal with it. You know, deal with it all. Oh, you worked on Boomer's campaign. Yeah, all right. You worked on Boomer's campaign. Good. I'm glad you did. But you know something though? Boomer would have had Coogan. Boomer would have had this election. Okay, he would have had it. Okay, if you guys, if you guys would have boosted that number up, Boomer would have had it. But no, you guys decided, oh, let's have Coogan again. Well, you know what? Now you deal with it. Deal with the high rents. Deal with the property taxes. Deal with not having any money in your pocket because you earned it. You all earned it. You love Coogan so bad, so you deal with it. Yeah. So deal with the high rent. Deal with the property taxes. Deal with and the water taxes, and deal with it because you wanted it. The people wanted Coogan back in office. Oh, Coogan's a great guy. He's doing this. He's doing that. Yeah. Well, so unfortunately, that you know your property taxes are going to go up again. The water bills are going to go up again. Oh, it's going to suck for everybody, huh? Wow. Well, let me tell you, you guys put that on yourself. Okay, you put that all on yourself. When we had a good thing going, we had a good campaign going with Boomer Amaral. We had a good campaign going. Okay, so so now you can deal with Coogan for 2 years. That's funny, huh? Wow, we keep talking about the same stuff all the time. We get and the audit. What about the what about the audit? Funny, huh? Michael Rogers don't want the audit. Yeah, crazy. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, paying bills, bro. Yeah, I'm over here trying to. It's a little live video. Yeah. Hey, everybody, see, say what up? Hey, what up? Yeah. Yeah, everybody just talks about the same crap all the time. You know, they don't want the mayor in there, but they're over there talking about the same crap all the time. Oh, let me move out of your way there. People are just crazy. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you guys wanted, you guys actually wanted wanted them back in there. So now you got them. Boomer would have been this talk would have been a whole different talk. Everything would have been a whole different conversation. But now look at you got your roads all messed up and everything else and stuff, and look at the building across the street there. Huh? Wow, awesome, huh? Yeah. Look at that one over there. Affiliated there. Ah, great. Yeah. Well, you have a this is a whole conversation. Okay. You know, this conversation would have been a whole different. You guys would have voted for Boomer. Boomer almost had Coogan. Okay, just a little bit more. Boom, he would have had him, and he would have been an inauguration, and he would have been mayor today. Okay. Well, you guys blew that chance. Well, and the audit in Massachusetts. Now you got okay, I got it. You know, you people just suck at you know don't understand and don't want to pay attention. Okay, for what's going on here in Fall River. So you know, Coogan's corrupt. Okay, Moore Healy's corrupt. The whole Healy administration, Driscoll and everything. Okay, you guys are gonna understand. Okay, we know it's a political game. Okay, we know what goes on in political. Okay, I know what goes on in political because I been doing it ever since I was 10 years old. My dad holding signs. Okay, my father taught me everything about the political game. Okay, it's a political game. People are gonna criticize. People are gonna say what they want. People are gonna do what they want. People just don't care. Okay, but let me tell you, there's two things that I don't understand. When you have a good candidate running for president, running for Senate, running for Congress, and they got something good that they want to say, you're going to want that guy. You're going to want that guy. Okay? You're going to want to put that you're going to want to put that guy in there. Okay? You're going to want him. Whether if he's unenrolled or whether if he's an independent or whether if he's a Republican, okay? You're going to want that guy. You're going to want to support that guy. Okay? You're going to want to do everything you can to put that guy in office. You're going to want that change. Okay? You're going to want it. Okay? Let me tell you something. If I had money, okay, I mean, I probably don't need a whole lot of it, but if I had time, I would run for governor of Massachusetts. I would. And you know something? I would if I had the time. But you know something? I don't have the time to do that. Okay? Because all this is a political game. If you're corrupt, then they like you. If you're not corrupt and you're honest, they ain't gonna put you in there. Okay? They want somebody that doesn't know the game and get them corrupt. So that way, I look it. I just dropped $1,000 on your campaign, so I want this done. I want to be first. Okay, it's all a political nonsense, and it's a political game. That's what it is. When you're raising the 2.5, when the mayor raised a 2.5, that means the taxes go up, rents, rent, property taxes. When you start raising the 2.5, okay, people's taxes start going up. Okay, rent start increasing, the budget starts increasing once you start doing that. Okay, say you had $500,000 in your budget. Just throwing out numbers. and now your budget is $2 million. Okay, you have already have a million, but your budget is now is 2 million. Okay, because your budget went up. When your budget goes up, your rents, your water, everything goes up. Okay, just like Mayor Paul Coogan says, oh, 1 year I'll raise them $1. 1 year I'll raise them two. Then I'll take that one day I'll raise them two. Okay. Then the other year I'll give it back to the people. You don't do that. Okay. That's how the budget goes. That's how the budget goes. Gets. That's how the budget goes up sky high. Okay. Even when you do the 2.5, okay, override, okay, the budget goes up. I learned a lot over the years on politics, so I know a lot about politics. It's a game. It's a political game. It's a political game. You know, um, I've watched it over the years. How when people complain about the roads, they wait until election day. Okay, when they wait until election, know why? Because they want to get back in so they can say, hey, you know what? I just fixed Bedford Street. Wow, go down to Bedford Street. Looks pretty. Can I have your vote? So what they do is they take a few photos. They go down. They take a few photos with the mayor. Hey, good job, Mr. Mayor. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Okay, it does. And let me tell you something. Okay, it's been like that ever since day one. Okay, it's been like that. It's been like that with every single mayor. Okay, every single mayor, every single city councilors. Okay, it's been like that. Okay, and and that's how they get back in office. Oh, look at this. Whoa, I did this. I got the roads fixed. Well, it took me a while, but I got the road fixed. So uh, let's take a few pictures and smile and everything. You know, photo ops. We just talk about photo ops. Okay, photo ops. Okay, yeah, take a couple of photo ops like they did. Like hello, honey. So let's take a couple of photo ops, right? And you know, and show the people, hey, see what I did? Look what I did here. Oh, um, I fixed the roads for you. So can I take a picture with you? So, um, Mayor Paul Coogan, Raposo, uh, Cliff Ponte, Alan Subia. Yeah. So, they always come up with the money. Okay, somehow. Okay, they always come up with the money somehow because because they know election years around the corner. As soon as they know that, of course, you know what I'm saying? Of course, and it's pretty sad that all that shit has to happen. Okay, it is. It's pretty sad. You know, if you're gonna vote for somebody, vote for the right person. Don't vote for the same old person. And we went over this 100,000 times. You we and we went over this 100,000 times, man. Don't vote for the same people. because you're not going to get a different results. You're always going to get the same results like before. Okay, and that's how that's going to work. You know. So I mean, it is. You know, people have to do what they have to do. Okay,
Can you hear me?
people got to do what they have to do in life. Okay, it's a political game, and it's a dirty business. Okay, to get into. We both supported Boomer. We all supported Boomer. Some of us anyway. Some of us. Some of us supported Boomer. Okay, some of us did. Okay, if Boomer would have got in for mayor, I wouldn't even be talking about this. This would have whole the if we would have had the Boomer administration, this would have been a whole different conversation. Okay, all right, but everyone decided, oh, let's put Coogan back in office. So you guys messed it up for yourselves. We would have had a different conversation. Okay, we would have different conversation. That's what we would have had. It would have been it would have been awesome. Okay, it would have. And I hear police around somewhere. I don't know what's going on, but we would have had a different conversation. So what I'm gonna do is, um, I'm walking up my street, and I head home now. But yeah. So I mean, we would have had a different conversation, and things would have been totally different. Okay. So like I said, next 2 years comes up. You guys, you know, please do the right thing, man. Do the right thing. Because talking about this, talking about market rate housing, talking about property taxes being raised, talking about rents going up, talking about water, talking about all this nonsense and bull crap every single time. It gives me a headache. We need different. We need different. Raposo, City Council Raposo kisses is up Coogan's mighty pants. Cliff Ponte's the same way. Michelle Dion. One thing I can say for Chris Peckham, Chris Peckham is for the people. Okay, Chris Peckham is for the people. Okay, and he always will be for the people. And I'll tell you one thing right now. Okay, and I'll let everybody know. Okay, how I feel about things. I'll let everybody know. I will kneel before God at his throne before I kneel before Coogan. I will kneel before God. Okay, that's who I will kneel before. I will kneel before God before I kneel before Coogan. Let me tell you something like that. I will kneel before the cross and God. Coogan's not God. Let me tell you something right now. And Coogan is not the king. Okay, Governor Moore Healy, she's not the queen. So, we all got to make changes in the world. We have to make the changes. You want something nice, you got to make the change. You don't want nothing nice, then it is what it is. But everybody has the right to change their minds later. So, that's all I got to say. It's outstanding. Hello. It's nice to come out here and have something to do. Yeah, so I mean, everybody has the everybody has the right to change their minds. Everybody has that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Hey, change their minds, do what they want. You know what I'm saying? And well, I hope next 2 years comes by. Whoever is running for mayor, hey, you know what I'm saying? But we don't know who's going to be running for mayor, so we don't know. We don't know who's gonna be running. But anyways, you guys take care. Have a great night. It was nice talking to you guys. Hey, I like coming out here. You know what I'm saying? Coming for the walk. I walked around Fall River a little bit. I have, and thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. Um, I'm headed upstairs, and thank you for thank you guys all for listening, and thank you my wife for listening too, and thanks Boomer for listening because I know he was, and I'm gonna tell you, the police just went down Pleasant Street. I should have stood over there. So yeah, I probably would have caught that one, but yeah, I just like coming out. So take care. Have a great night. This is Dave Mead for Media News, always broadcasting. I'll be broadcasting on Saturdays and Mondays at 6:30 to 9:30, and we'll be talking about more stuff. And I could use you guys' support on state and local politics stuff too. So, but I just want to let you guys know I really don't get into federal politics. I really don't get into that no more because I'm unenrolled. I could vote either way in the federal issue. Um, but hey, you know what? When you guys talk about things, please look it up. Okay, look it up, do your research, and and fact check it. Okay, before you say anything, because you could say something about somebody, and then you probably end up getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So if you say anything, you can get yourself in a lot of hot water. Do fact check, please. Do your fact check before you open your mouth, because that's not the way to go. Defamation in Massachusetts carries a hefty fine that you really don't want to pay. Okay, so fact check things before you run your mouth, because you start running your mouth, and then defamation of character comes into play. Then either you get sued or you be paying a hefty fine. So Take care, everybody. Have a great night. And thank you all for listening. Thanks to my wife for listening. And that's the woman I love. She always listens to my show. She likes what I say. Love you too, honey. Take care.